With so many new tech players on the market, how can our industry increase adoption? I'm joined by Tim Welsh to learn more. Tim, welcome.
Thanks so much, Shannon. It's always a pleasure to be here with you.
Absolutely. So we have to talk about it. Adoption in our industry. Like I said, you look at that Kitsy's FinTech map, there's over 400 applications, and there's so many cutting edge new tech players. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter unless there's adoption around it. How do we increase buy-in?
It's a fantastic question. I love the setup, the whole tech map and the paradox of choice, I think they call that in the psychology arena. But if you think back, when the internet happened and websites were something that most firms had, advisors typically were slow to adopt those just because they've always been behind the curve. Same thing with email. There was a big compliance worry about, communications with the public. We can't control that. Then social media. So there's always been this transition, I think, as technologies come online. Advisors will always be behind the curve for a reason. One, they're conservative. They're managing other people's money. They don't want to take too much risk in their business. But once they do see the benefits and the power of what these technologies can do, particularly if they are integrated together into one platform, like the Advise-On, for example, then it sort of happens by itself. Now, should we light a fire under them? The carrot and stick? That's a fantastic question as well. But typically, I think advisors, through their own self-interest, through their own business management principles, they do realize the benefits of technology. They sort of drop their fears or anxieties about something new, and they embrace it. A lot of it comes down to change management. They teach you that in business school on how to get people to change, and the first thing they do is they're wrong because people don't want to change. But I think in terms of your original question around how do we increase adoption, it really does come down to how forward-thinking are the principals. Their staff, their people, their advisors will follow. So I think it starts there.
And it also really comes down to education and training around new tools, too. It can be very overwhelming for advisors, obviously, to try new things, open the box and say, oh, my goodness, how do I use this platform? How am I going to get the most out of it? Which is why I'm so encouraged here at the Advise-On conference that they're having breakout sessions where you can actually sit down with the experts and really go deep into their tools so you know what you're doing at the end of the day.
Yeah, and I think you're absolutely right. It is sort of human nature. I mean, I'm guilty as charged. I'm first one to take the remote control out, start pushing buttons, and hope things work and get mad when they don't because I didn't read. You have to put this button and then that one. So having the patience as part of the user experience, I think, as part of, hey, here's a new technology. Let's take our time with it. Let's learn it before we start trying to hope it does solve our problems. That is a key step that many people skip just because you want to get to the immediate returns. So that is a great point you made around having product experts training and actually taking the time to learn it is a key piece of any adoption strategy.
And last question around adoption, with so many new players on the market, is there anyone that you're excited about? Any area of specialized planning that's of interest or anything that is kind of top of mind that has you excited right now?
Absolutely. And it's really all about connecting the plan with the portfolio. There's been a lot of work around risk scores and risk modeling and how that impacts the actual goals-based approach of the client. Sometimes those don't sync up. So there's some really cool technologies here. I think GMO launching Nebo Wealth on the Advise-On platform is a great example of that. Them being able to really come up with a model portfolio that's really personalized to each and every client. So the client becomes the model. That's really exciting. I think that's new. We talk a lot about personalization, but actually we're seeing it happen live here at the Advise-On conference.
Absolutely. Well, Tim, it is always a pleasure getting to speak with you. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Shannon.
For wealthmanagement.com, I'm Shannon Rosick.